Hey guys, Brian Henney here, and both the Democrats and the Republicans have their presidential primaries in the state of Wisconsin tomorrow, and I already did the preview of the Democratic side. You can check that out. So this is going to be a video previewing the Republican side of the primaries in Wisconsin tomorrow. So let's take a look at the polls real quick. So outside of that most recent poll from ARG, it seems that Ted Cruz seems to have the advantage in Wisconsin, and one thing to note about that ARG poll is that that same pollster also had, in that same poll, had Hillary Clinton with a 1-point lead over Bernie Sanders, which seems pretty unlikely because all the other polls had Bernie Sanders leading. Same in this case, that's the only one that has Trump leading. They have him up by 10, while there are other polls that have Cruz up by 10, but every other poll recently has Cruz up, so I'm going to have to say that Cruz looks the most likely to win Wisconsin, which I think is interesting because Wisconsin doesn't really seem like a Ted Cruz state. I don't know exactly why I feel that way. Maybe it's because I see Wisconsin as a little bit more liberal. They tend to vote more Democratic, so that makes it a little bit surprising. Yeah, Ted Cruz, based on the polling, seems to be doing better in the state of Wisconsin. However, I do think it could be closer than the polls are showing because when you factor in that it's an open primary, as I said with the Democrats, because Cruz does not do well with independents. I'm not sure how much of a difference that's going to make and whether these polls took that into account or not, but I think if anything it would be more likely that Trump could be closer. I still don't think he's going to win, but I think it could be closer than some of these polls have it. I'm gonna go with 5 to 10% win for Cruz because I don't think it's going to be in the double digits. I don't think he's going to get a blowout or anything. And I could see it being less than that too because I think if anything, it'll be closer than these polls have. But I don't think that Trump's going to win either. And obviously Kasich is going to be completely irrelevant like usual. So it's not gonna make a huge difference. It's not a winner-take-all state, but it looks like Ted Cruz should be able to get the most delegates, but he's not going to get all of them, so it's not going to be a huge win because I think it's still going to be close. But a win's a win for him, and that's the only thing he can really ask for at this point because he's pretty far behind. Trump definitely is still going to have a very good lead, especially when you consider that he's almost certainly going to dominate New York. So it's a small win for Ted Cruz, or at least that's what I'm expecting, and not going to really shape the race, but it's, I guess, something for the Cruz campaign, and there will be obviously more pressure, especially from the Cruz campaign, on John Kasich to drop out, but I still don't really expect that to happen at this point. He already can't outright get the nomination. He's still in it. So at this point, he's probably just going to stick with it and see how long he can stick it out, see if he can make it to the convention, and see if they can get a contested convention, because he's probably their best option to just thrust into the nomination if they're able to get a contested convention, because at least he actually has some votes. And if I did another video talking about how he's the most electable candidate on the Republican side as well, so that's probably what he's hoping for at this point because he can't outright win the nomination. So not a big shift, but I do think Ted Cruz is going to win the state of Wisconsin by about 5 to 10 points. So leave your comments down below on what you think, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.